Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Bobby and Nate with Off the Beaten Path podcast. Just talking a little bit of shit on a Saturday. We're brothers. We have a podcast, so if you want to be on, come check us out. If you like listening to us, either with ourselves or with a guest, hit subscribe on that YouTube. And we just both learned that we're terrible at geography.
Yes, and this is Super Sobriety Saturdays because I'm not drinking beer, not for any reason, because I'm going to go buy some for the UFC fights tonight, but he ain't drinking beer either. And yes, we both suck at geography. I cannot name another city or county that is in Washington besides Seattle.
And the only reason I know Seattle is because of Kurt Cobain.
Oh yeah. He killed himself there, and that's also where he's from and the birth of Nirvana.
No, Courtney Love had him killed. That man had way too much heroin. That man had way too much heroin in his bloodstream to have been able to prop himself up, put a shotgun in his mouth, and then do it with his foot. Didn't happen. That man was drugged and shot.
Nope. We can say that about everyone. There's plenty of conspiracy theories on X was talking too much truth and getting way too popular. And I'm going to make a song called They, because we don't know who the hell they are, but we always talk about them.
You want to write that song right now?
I can write it. I ain't going to sing it because the audios don't connect right.
Gotcha. I was about to say we can write a song about they. I'm not gonna sing though, because I'm decent enough at bass, but I'm terrible at singing. I don't want to scare people away.
No, I suck at singing too, but I found kind of like I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I have these house gnats, and it's probably it's not a lot of them, but when I see them, I try to kill them. So if you see me do that or some shit, yeah, it's because I got I noticed that in the Remy interview. I ended up going back and watching it because I'm like, all these people are watching. I want to watch it, so I watched it, and you see me do this a couple times. Oh man,
There's a Trevor Noah joke. So if you don't know who Trevor Noah is, he's a South African comedian, and he has this joke about those ads where they're trying to like raise money for like impoverished African people, and they're like, it's always the same thing. It's always like a very sad song. The kids are like very hungry, and like it's a very sad picture that they're painting. He's like, but then there's always that fucking fly. He's like, smack the fly, swat the fly. He's like, that thing has to be superimposed. They're like, you know what, Jimmy? You know what will raise us some more money? If we just put a fly right there, let's put a fly right there on his lip, Jimmy, and we'll raise some.
Yeah, because it always goes like on the lip and on the nose and fly. Yeah, man, that's what's awesome about comedy, because that shit's so true, man.
Yeah, and it's like, and they get you laughing at some shit that's not laughable, but you're just like, yeah, but it's like why the fly that doesn't get swatted at, like. It's a natural reaction. You don't have to think, oh, I want to get rid of this thing that's swarming around my face. You're just like,
right.
But yeah, Trevor's funny. He came to Charleston 3 years ago, and we went and saw him for my birthday.
I think I remember you telling me about that. That's what I love about Atlanta right now, because I was about to say that I miss comedy shows. But Atlanta's open, so if I want to go to a comedy show, I can. And dude, like, if someone's never been to a comedy show, especially if they like comedy, you can watch it on Netflix, you can watch it on YouTube, but you're not gonna laugh as if you're at a comedy show, man. Like, God, comedy shows, the atmosphere is, you just leave feeling re-energized.
Yeah, and I think it's the same for music. I almost hate the invention of YouTube, because one thing I did, like the bands I really wanted to see, mom and dad, they were always mom and big. I just said, I've never said dad.
Dude, that sounded so weird.
I'm being all formal on fucking YouTube. So we For people who aren't friends and family, my name is Bobby. I'm a junior, so I'm the biggest person in our family. But I get called Little Bobby, and our dad gets called Big Bobby. We shortened it to Big, and we've always called him Big or some derivative of Big. I've never called him Dad. Like when I talk to him, I don't call him Dad. So why I just got all like very formal on YouTube and I said Dad is weird and it sounded strange. So to all y'all that are watching that know Big as Big, I'm so sorry. I'll never defame his name again.
We've even jokingly, I don't know you, I'm sure you have, but even like had that same conversation with him, and I'm like, let me call you Dad real quick. He'd be like, all right. I'd be like, Dad, can you give me that? And it just don't sound right. It's funny. It
sounds so crazy, and he's like, please don't do that.
It's so weird.
But
Did
anyways,
you see that? Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
No, I remember my train of thought where I was going with it. So, Mom and Big, I mean, like the concerts we really wanted to see, like when we were children and we didn't have our own finances, they took us to. I mean, we've seen what I almost said but you were at every one. We saw Korn 2 or 3 times. We got to see Kid Rock before Joe Seed passed away, so that was awesome.
Oh man, yeah.
But there were other bands, like I wouldn't say lesser bands, but bands I wasn't as interested in, but I still wanted to experience it live. So I'll watch on YouTube or like download like a torrent of a concert, and it was almost good enough. If you have on headphones loud enough and the screen's big enough, it's almost good enough. But then it's like, man, I missed out on so much music because I was a cheapskate. Like I either didn't want to ask for a ticket when I was a kid, or I didn't want to pay. I mean, because you've paid what? What's the highest you've ever paid for a concert ticket?
I think it was actually the last one, which was Blink and Lil Wayne. I think I paid $168 per ticket. Well, I only bought one, but yeah, $168.
Yeah, see, I've never paid that much. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because all the really big shows like the Korn, the Metallica, Mom and Big bought those. Then when we start going to like our underground shows,
they were like $20 a ticket.
Yeah, when they went to 25, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna find a new band."
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't think of a show where I've paid more than like $50, and I'm just saying $50 because it's like I don't even know if I've ever paid that much.
Yeah,
when me and Wendy,
I think when you went to Lil Wayne, you only paid like $50 because you were like, dude, I ain't paying $100, but if you pay for half my ticket, I'll go.
Yeah, so he was so sweet, guys. He wanted me to experience Lil Wayne so much, he paid for half of my ticket. As I said, I ain't paying $100 for a concert.
Especially because you weren't really a Lil Wayne fan back then.
Yeah, and I think that show changed my mind because I've told people, I'm like, even if you don't like Lil Wayne, like if you don't like any songs, not like, oh, if you're a casual fan, you just like a million stuff. No, if you like 0 songs, but you enjoy entertainment, go see Lil Wayne because you'll still be entertained. You don't even have to know the music.
Yeah.
Because obviously
go.
I was gonna say I knew his hits at the time, so it's not like I didn't know any of the songs. But I probably didn't know half of them. But the entire show from start to finish was so entertaining because he's just a really good entertainer.
Yeah. Dakota, she was the same way. She wasn't a Lil Wayne hater, I would say, but she didn't know. She knew like maybe Go DJ and a Millie, a couple of other songs, but like after she saw him, she was like, one, he had more money on 4 of his fingers than probably my whole trailer cost. He sweated the whole time because he's just fucking running around stage. He smoked a blunt the whole time, and his entertainment and performance was phenomenal. And Cameron, he was the same way. He was a Lil Wayne hater. And after I took him, he was like, dude, if you buy my ticket, I'll go. And that's the only other person I've bought a ticket for besides probably my girlfriend at the time. And that's because she was my girlfriend. But after the concert, for like 3 days, he couldn't stop listening to Lil Wayne. Yeah,
like Lil Wayne's he's an entertainer. Like he knows how to draw in the crowd. We were listening to a Sirius XM at work a few days ago, and I think it was Mike from Lincoln Park was talking about Fred Durst. They were about to introduce like a Limp Bizkit song, and Mike Shinoda was talking about Fred. He's like, he's like, musically we're kind of in the same genre. Lyrically, we're completely different. He's like, but what I enjoyed about playing with Limp Bizkit was just watching Fred from the second he got on stage, just being able to command that crowd from the very first lyric to the very last note of the last song. And Lil Wayne did that. And I wasn't expecting that. I mean, like the crowd was in the palm of his hand, and he was molding it like clay and making you feel whatever you wanted to. And it takes a very different person to be able to do that. It's not just the music. I think he could play different songs and it would have been the same way.
And I'm going to say two things. One, to say on Lil Wayne, I don't know if he had gotten to that level when we saw him, but I know, because I've seen him 9 times, there was a certain point where he stopped using a DJ and where he started using a live band. That changed it completely, because having a drummer, guitarist, a bassist, so live instruments. Something else about Wayne that I love, I've seen a lot of rappers, and a lot of them, they have backtracks for their vocals. So the backtracks are lower, but you can still hear them. Wayne, it's only him. If he messes up, if he runs out of breath, that lyric's just not going to be there. And something else, one other thing, he changes his lyrics and he changes his flow patterns at a live concert. I love that too. But something else, this dawned on me, I don't remember, probably a couple months ago. You remember Yellow Wolf fucking came out with Travis Barker when we saw Wayne? Like, as a surprise. We didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah, I forgot about Yellow, because I remember Travis being there, and that was awesome. Yeah. I mean, just Travis on drums, and then his DJ, whoever was spinning for him that night. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Travis, I think, in my opinion, Travis is probably the most. I want to use the word prolific. I'm not sure if I'm using the right word, but he's the most amazing rock and roll style drummer that we have alive right now. In my opinion, that's actually, I guess, famous. I mean, there might be some guy in some hole in the wall bar that's just like, holy shit, why is he not famous? Like, what's going on in his life? But for those that are visible, I don't think there's a rock and roll drummer better than Travis Barker right now.
Me neither. I don't. God, it would be hard for me to say that he's the best to ever hit the mainstream, but definitely I think it's kind of easy to say that he's the best mainstream drummer that we have alive right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but yeah, Yellow Wolf coming out as that surprise, and because him and Travis Barker, I'm pretty sure did like an EP or a mixtape or some shit together, but the fact that he came out and did like 3 or 4 songs, like, that's always cool, because at rock concerts, you don't really get that. You don't get like a surprise guest, Yeah. But rap, it's like when I went and saw Kodak Black, we were in Atlanta, of course. Kodak's from Florida, but we're in Atlanta. Lil Yachty just blessed the stage for like 4 or 5 songs right before Kodak came out. Would I go to like a Lil Yachty concert if he's headlining the tour? Maybe, depends who's on it, but probably not. I'm not a huge Lil Yachty fan, but I don't hate on him. He has some good shit, but crowd went fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, I think like rock and roll's never been about collaboration. Like, even if you go back to like old rock and roll, like I can't think of any time I ever heard like other vocalists or other musicians like on one another's tracks. But rap from the very start, it's either been about adversaries, so you're battle rapping, and there's actually been obviously with no real beef in rap. But if there's not beef, it's always been about collaboration. It's like, hey, dude, you hear the feature? Like some of Lil Wayne, we've been talking a lot about Wayne. Some of my favorite verses of his are on features. Like, his shit's really good. But like when Wayne goes on a feature, like a different side of him comes out for some reason. But in rock and roll, I mean, one of my favorite features is when Maynard from Tool was on Deftones' Passenger.
Ain't heard
Dude,
that.
You haven't heard that?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I can find it. Since we're on Zoom, I want to say I might be able to share my screen, and you might be able to hear my audio. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave the meeting and tell.
Wait, let me ask a question.
Okay.
Is that gonna get the video removed from YouTube?
I don't know. We ain't never done that before.
I mean, shit, let's do it. Cause I know that I uploaded my own video and I had a popular song in the background and it removed it and gave me a strike. But
how the fuck do they know?
Dude, somehow it's with the algorithm because it said Universal wants this removed, basically, in a more professiondon't tone. I was like, damn. All right, Universal. So it's an
Universal going hard. How much money they spend to do that?
I don't even think it's like manual. I think it's like how you can hold your phone up to music that's playing and have Shazam tell you what song it is. I think it's something like that where it's like a bot just fucking is ready for them to upload a song. I don't know. It's the algorithm somehow, I think.
See, I don't like technology. I wish I was born like 70 years ago. Well, I'll say that, but I like being
not
born
for black people.
I was like, if I was a white man, being born like in the 30s would have been great.
Right.
I wish I was a 1930s white man because like I don't like technology shit like that. Because I mean we were talking with Remy last weekend, kind of about like privacy shit, and obviously we're not monetizing this. I wouldn't want to profit off of somebody else's efforts. They wrote the song; it's their rights to own that song and distribute how they want. But I'm not profiting off of it. We're not monetizing, so it'd be nice to be able to play the song. A song
and
you haven't heard.
You can play it, and we'll just test it. This will be the test. If it gets taken down, fuck it. Sobriety Saturdays just didn't get uploaded this time.
All right, yeah, we'll try. We'll see what happens. See if these robots are going to take over the world.
Exactly. But
I was thinking about the world today on my way to work.
Talk about it.
It was raining over my neighborhood on my way to work, and then it stopped. And I was like the rain was moving the same direction I was. It was moving. It was moving east. And what was I going to say?
Harp.
I just lost my train of thought. Oh, the rain was moving. The rain was moving west. Actually, it's kind of weird. And I was moving west, and I saw a rainbow, and I started thinking. I want to know how a flat earther would explain a rainbow. Because if this shit is flat and it's not round, why does a rainbow not just like shoot a straight beam across the sky? Why does it have an arc?
Bruh, that's probably an argument I do not want to hear them say.
Yeah,
because you know they'll pour some shit out their ass.
If there's any flat earthers watching this, if you're one of the 30 people that are going to watch this, I want to know why rainbows aren't straight.
Bruh, it's a LED projection, man. The rainbow's not real, bro.
What you know what the government's done, right?
Talk to me.
Replaced all birds with drones. Birds aren't real.
Oh man, speaking of that, 1 second.
You got a T-shirt to prove it? Hey guys, if you're watching this right now and you believe that birds aren't real, I want you to leave a comment.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be reversed, but this is one of my favorite shirts I got. Bird watching goes both ways. And then it says, birds aren't real.
You got to pull it back a little bit. They can't see the whole thing.
Let me move my microphone for a second. Bird watching goes both ways. Birds aren't real.
Yeah, that's not a conspiracy I believe in, but I think that's a really cool shirt.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure if it's a legit organization, but there's an organization called Birds Aren't Real, and they post like bird propaganda and all this shit, and I can't tell if they're being 100% serious. They even got billboards in like LA and shit.
Here's my thing: if they're serious, they have the right to believe whatever they believe, whether
Of
it's
course.
founded upon fact or it's just pure delusion. But my thing would be, if it's not real, how awesome that is. They're master marketers.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Especially since they're selling merch and shit.
Yeah, and I learned of them because I saw that you had commented on a post on Instagram from the podcasting Instagram, and you're like, "Hey, I like that shirt. Like, I bought that shirt for my friend."
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, that's how I learned of the conspiracy and the organization. But
Yeah.
at our second apartment, I was working night shift, so I had just gotten home, and there was a lady in the apartment complex, and she was often long-winded, so I didn't always talk to her. Like if I saw her, I'd be like, I'm trying to get to bed. I'm tired. But
Right.
I think I was maybe smoking back then, so I went outside for a cigarette or something like that, and she kind of caught me. And we were having like a very normal conversation. It was all good. And then she goes, one thing I want you to do, young man, is avoid the squirrels. And I held it together. I was being polite. I was like, what do you mean? She goes, I saw something that looked like a squirrel the other day, but it wasn't a squirrel, it's a drone.
Oh
And I was
my
like,
god.
Wait, what? I was like, explain that to me. I was fucking curious at this point. I was like, explain that to me. And she
Right.
goes, the birds around here are fine. Like, you don't got to worry about the birds. They're really birds. But she says, I saw a squirrel, and she goes, it didn't move like a squirrel. It didn't act like a squirrel. It never even made a squirrel noise. It was a drone. I don't know what they were looking for, but they were looking for something right now. And like you said earlier, like, who the fuck is they? And why did they build this fake-ass fucking squirrel to come look at Oakwood, Georgia?
Right, bruh.
where nothing is going on.
I literally want to make a whole song and the title be they. Because who the fuck are they and why, as you just said, but for many reasons, but why in this specific reason did they create this drone squirrel to come in Oakwood, Georgia?
Yeah, the technology that would take, the cost of creating, the level of secrecy they would have, again, the level of secrecy this shadow organization would have to have. And then to do all that to implant it in a place where nothing is going on. More happens at the Waffle House on Monday Mill Road than anywhere else in the small city of Oakwood, Georgia.
I'm honestly surprised that Hollywood hasn't made a movie called They. 2 movies you should watch though. One is called Bug, and it kind of has to do with these whacked out people going crazy, and they think that bugs are planted in their house. And another one is called Something Joe. I'll have to look for it, but Something Joe, man, it's another movie that's just like, what the fuck? It's about this family that hired a hitman to kill someone. I don't remember if it was someone in their family or a friend of the family or what, but yeah, it's both movies. I like movies like this. You might find them boring, but both movies are basically shot in like one house, you know.
Yeah, I like it's always hard sometimes to tell.
It's kind of like The Hateful Eight, how it's just shot in one house the whole time. But keep going.
I was gonna say it's hard to tell like if it's on location or if it's a set they built. But I watched the movie last night. I was gonna recommend to you. I'm gonna recommend to a few other people that like it's a little bit gore, but it's more of a psychological thriller than it's gore. But it's called What Keeps Us Alive. It was a very good movie. It had me jumping like the whole time. Yeah, I watched it last night before I went to bed.
I like movies like that because I kind of got out of scary movies probably in my early 20s because they weren't scary anymore. I don't know if because that's my imagination failing me. Unlike it was like when I was a teenager, I still had that little bit of childlike imagination, or if it's just because the movies that were coming out were shit. But I just got away from scary movies.
Yeah, we were talking at a friend's house last weekend how they almost need to like separate the genre and not just call it horror, but hey, this is psychological thriller, this is gore, this is monster movie. Because
right.
Well, I feel like what's coming out in like coming into the early aughts, like the early 2000s, was a lot of gore. It's just like how can we be more sick and twisted and make this look more realistic? How can we add more blood, more death? And that's boring. Like, at first, it's like a shock because we had never seen it. It's like, holy crap! Like, they just did what? Like the first Saw movie or that movie Hostel was like, holy, well, like Hostel when they had that guy strapped to the chair, and then they cut his Achilles tendon, and they told him to go away. It's just like, holy shit! Like, he stands up and he falls. That was crazy.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Yeah, but it's not like that anymore. It's like more of the shock factor. But it's like, bruh, we're in 2020. You can go on Instagram and look up fight videos or someone killing someone. Like, we're desensitized to that shit, man. The shock factor doesn't work anymore. Give me something that's gonna make me be on pins and needles, edge of the couch, and then jump when, like, you hear it. You hear the creepy music coming in, and then something pops out, and it's like, no. Give me something that really makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna... go.
No,
you
I was
gonna play
say,
the song yet?
Yeah, let me pause the recording right quick. I'm about to step out.
Wait, pause it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it real quick.
So you can pause it and then press play again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Nate, I just got back, man, but I just noticed our guest showed up in the waiting room, so we can finish this conversation later on. And
T-Dub?
Yeah, T-Dub.
Let's get it.
Yeah, so let's
I'm
go.
cool with that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and end this, and we can post this separate, but let's go ahead and get T-Dub in here, and we'll go ahead and chop it up with him, and then we maybe come back to this conversation. I can play that song and see if we get our asses kicked off YouTube.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right, bet.
Bet.
Yes, I want to stop the cloud recording.